Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we've finally got the stream sorted, and it's a great game so far, a 1-1 ball game. One scoring early on for South Perth Alliance. Frankie Murray levelling for the Cobras, and I believe that was just as we got the stream working. So the WSFL champions and league winners going up against the reigning Supa-Liga runners-up. And here's Frankie Murray. He blazes her shot in at the near post. Del Busco, a lot of quality in net there for the South Perth Alliance side, a former Perth Glory goalkeeper. Now here's South Perth are on the break. That one behind for a keeper's ball. Gemma Skinner in net for the Cobras. Long ball over the top. Thu heads it down. Betty. Betty again. Out to Thu. Ball looking for the line. They can't quite keep it in. Can South Perth Alliance? The Cobras are going to get a chance to restart. Brooke. Goes for a run. Looses out to Betty. South Perth Alliance looking for the shot, but nothing doing. Betty with a sideline ball. Up to Thu. Across the court. Lovely touch inside, but put over the bar. And a quick release over the top for the Cobras. Sam Brady in behind. Great save. The rebound almost falling to the feet of Brooke, but it's Thu who won it back in the end. Here's Ranieri. A potential foul, but nothing called by the referees. Brooke to Brady. Weaves inside. And now Baxter Thu's won it up high for the South Perth. Out wide. Across to Thu. Ball inside to Betty. In the middle now, South Perth Alliance keeping it well. Ranieri wins it up high. She's won the 50-50. Now Ranieri's on the break. Doesn't have pace to exploit the space. Brooke. Out wide, Brady. And that one going the way of South Perth. As B1, the goal scorer, steps back onto the court. Out wide to Betty. To one. Ball inside's a bit heavy from B1. And it's seen possession change hands. Brady. Ranieri will clean up the danger. Brooke. Ball in the centre. And now Ranieri in behind. I think that was a save there from Dabusco, or wasn't it? Looks like Ranieri put her effort wide. Probably should have done better, really. Flicked over the top there, but to no avail. Sophie Rennie brings it in. Ranieri. Long ball forward. It's a good one to Brady. And that's 2-1 to the Cobras. Sam Brady taking advantage of that defensive lapse in concentration. It was a good assist by Ranieri. And it's a timeout called by Roberto Boy, who will look to steady the ship for South Perth Alliance. And the number 15 on now for South Perth, Jess DeMarco. One, trying to weave inside, still going one. But a good tackle from Sam Brady. And I'm joined in the commentary box by Ben O'Brien, who I should have introduced earlier. Ben, what are your thoughts on the game so far?
Hello, John. It seems to be a very tight affair, and it seems like South Perth Alliance, for once, being challenged a lot. In the other competitions they were in, they were very dominant, and it seems like they're almost shocked a little bit. 2-1 results, not what I expected coming out today.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit, not disappointed, but I was expecting better from South Perth. Like, if we're being realistic, I look at this West Coast Cobras side, you know, missing a couple of players, missing Emma Elias, missing the likes of Kim McCartney from seasons past, and I thought they'd struggled today, but so far they've put up a good fight against the likes of Grace Betty, Cam Harrell, B1, Jess DeMarco, such seasoned players of the game. And by no means is it over yet, but they might have a chance here. One, mistouches, Skinner collects it, but they're getting caught out on the counter-attack. Like now, Brady might get another bite of the cherry. Jabusco collects it this time, and that's what they've got to watch out for, that long ball over the top. They're leaving players at the back free, and they're getting caught out. They're doing well in possession, and you can see they've got a lot of talented players, but at the end of the day, if Cobras win this game, it's going to be on the counter, as Cochrane almost getting dispossessed at the back there. She's got to be careful. I think it was her that gave away for the first goal.
I've got to say, I'm impressed that the Cobras are playing so much of their youth, John. I mean, you know, you're talking about Sophie Rennie, you're talking about Samantha Brady, and players like this that are very young, but it's so skilled and it seems to be paying off.
Yeah, I think the Cobras women definitely do have the best young up-and-comers in the state. EJ Silver and Tatum Spencer aren't even here today, but
yeah, two massive players for them.
I agree, two massive players. And then the ones that are here, Sophie Rennie and Sam Brady, also excellent players as well. And they're only, 14 to 16 years of age, so give it a couple more seasons and they'll be dominating the women's game even more so than they are already. And Betty's shot blocked. Rennie trying to find a way through, and now they might get caught on the break again. I think Jabusco should have come out there maybe. Looks for the back post as Continabali. Can't pull it back far enough into the run of Murray. And now Betty up the other end. Murray on okay, still going Betty. One's at the back post. Can't work it toward her. Continabali. And Skinner picks it up.
Of course, we're mentioning players that the Cobras are missing. A massive player that South Perth Alliance are missing is Tiana Botha.
Yeah, definitely a big out, Tiana. Great player. Adds a lot to this South Perth side, and the game may well look very different so far if she was present, but she's not. So they're going to have to rely on the players they do have, which still are very talented. Cam Harrell's done it in WA for years. Baxter Thu, a outdoor player in the New South Wales MPL who's back over for the off-season. She's really good also. Continabali trying to find a way through. Still going. Continabali done well. No one at the back post there for the Cobras, but it was a dangerous ball. And it would have been an easy tap-in if someone had have made the run. Through all the way back to Jabusco. And now DeMarco. Out wide to Thu, who takes it inside. Harrell has been out of the game for a while, but she's a seasoned veteran of futsal. Cam Harrell played for Cumbria for years. And her first season in South Perth colours. She's going to look to get a shot on goal. Fires off the left. It's blocked well by Brooke. And with 7 minutes to go in the first half, the Cobras hold the lead against expectation. Harrell in the centre, given away. Cochrane flicks it over. One, under pressure, and Murray's won it back. She's going to have the pace to get around one if she's good here, Murray. And couldn't win the one-on-one. Gabby Jabusco collects it. Baxter Thu under pressure. She's in trouble. Squeezes the ball out to Harrell. Harrell, good physicality. Spin around and pass it back to Thu. Thu works it inside. DeMarco, lovely turn. And the ball into the corner. Saved by Skinner. And now Cobras on the break again. They are getting exposed. Lucky this time. B1 was at the back to the rescue. Found DeMarco in the centre. And DeMarco places her effort wide. That was close for South Perth Alliance. As Sarah Ranieri, the sister of the second goal, comes back on. Ball in the centre. Continabali. Dispossessed. Through. Kontinapali just enough to put her off at the last moment.
And those are the types of opportunities that the Cobras just can't afford to give away. They're goal up. Why risk it? Why risk these plays where you're turning in your own half right outside your D? You don't need to do it. Play the simple ball.
That's their big downfall. They look good on the counter. They look good when they've got space ahead of him, but it's this high press from the Pumas that is causing him problems. No one's really moving out the back. They're playing quite static in what seems to be a 3-1, but you can see Kontinapali probably going to get the ball here. No real options. Forced to go back to Ranieri, who just punts it long to no one. That's what's going to let the Cobras down. If they can get a bit more movement out the back, a bit more fluent rotations, I think they could easily have it over South Perth today because, you know, they are pretty good going forward. They're good on the counter. If they don't cough it up right at the top of their D and concede that way, they'll be well within a chance. Good defending there by Brooke DeMarco. And that will be a corner. Up the line to Thu. Not the best touch inside, but it comes off in the end. However, the pass wasn't accurate enough to find the feeder. Haru in the centre to Kontinapali. Back to Brooke. Flicks over. And you can see what she's trying to do there, but pass wasn't good. Haru plays it off Brady. And the Pumas will get it back. Ball in the centre. Balls to Ranieri. Ranieri in the middle. Kontinapali. Is she going to be able to get around the outside of Haru? And it's a green ball, a free kick for the push. Didn't quite see it. Soft to say the least, but nevertheless, the Cobras aren't going to complain. Ranieri, got to be careful there. Giving away to Haru. One forward of the ball. Good recovery challenge from Ranieri. This is where the Cobras can press. Thu has her back to goal. Tries to take on Brooke. Poor ball in the centre from Thu. Ranieri wins it easily. Lovely ball out wide to Brady. Who switches it back to Ranieri. Firing off the right is where she's dangerous. And a sliding challenge in from one who did well to compensate for that defensive lapse.
This game is end-to-end. Both teams looking to counter-attack on each other. It's perfect futsal for, I mean, both teams, I feel like. They're just playing to their advantages, where your South Perth got a bit more of a control and technique in order to exploit that space in behind, but you've got Cobras using their youth to really abuse their speed almost.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on this, John?
It's been a good game so far. I'd say, you know, South Perth win in terms of experience and probably in terms of technical ability. As you can see there, they might be made to pay.
And there we're talking about the experience or maybe lack of experience there from Sophie Rennie, making a mistake in her own half, very uncharacteristic of her, but does happen. Happen to any player, but especially those without years and years of experience like other players on the team.
As Skinner gets it back. Runners long for the Cobras. This is where they're dangerous. Jarbusco to Haru. Now Betty. Poor ball from Haru. Expect better from her as she has a sub. The number 4 on Jess Johnson for South Perth Alliance. Probably the youngest player on their squad by the looks of it. Brady to take the kick. Here's Ranieri. Ball inside. Picked up by Johnson. Toes it on to Thu. Thu in a battle with Ranieri. And Ranieri does well to draw the free kick. It looked pretty 50-50 to me. Maybe Baxter Thu had her arm around Ranieri. At least that's what the referee saw. As Ranieri looking like she's going to punt it long. Route 1 stuff from the Cobras, trying to go through the centre to Murray. Murray's touch was poor. Betty to Johnson. Johnson to Thu. This is better from South Perth.
Of course, the Cobras got to be
opening.
Very careful here. They're almost getting drawn in very, almost flat-footed at times. Although they have adjusted well now with Sarah Ranieri with her experience dropping back.
As Shelby Cochran back on for the Cobras. Here's Baxter Thu. Across to Betty. She'll be one to watch out for this season. But the commentator's curse comes into play. She gives it away. Brady. Ranieri. Lovely ball. And wins the quarter in the end. It came to Cochran's wrong foot. Other than that, she probably would have been through on goal. Can they win it up high, the Cobras? Brady with the last touch. And it's behind for South Perth. Jabusco will get to restart play from the back. Matsushita on for South Perth. Johnson, can she work it to the back post? In at the near. And a high press being called by Roberto Boy. You got a feeling Skinner is just going to look long. And a good throw over the top from Skinner. Ranieri can't pull it back far enough. Del Busco in the centre to Betty. Cobras aren't going to want to concede before half time. Del Busco can't touch it. A cheap corner to give away. These little details are not fine-tuned enough for the Perth Pumas, for the South Perth Alliance rather, this first half. I'm just getting confused because South Perth Pumas was formerly the Perth Pumas name, and South Perth Alliance doesn't come off the tongue too easily just yet, but we'll get used to it. And the ball inside to Johnson just before halftime. Shots deflected. And Punta Nabali almost looked like she was trying to put one in the back of her own net there. But nevertheless, a corner for Alliance to Betty. Thu looks for the take on. Ball inside. Ranieri wins it. Conti settles. Cochrane ball forward. Shouldered on by Betty. And now the Cobras can press. Matsushita will see it over. Murray with a kick in. Cochrane. Poor. And that's behind. Jabusco to Matsushita. Time running out in this first half for South Perth. Can they respond?
We've just
comfortable for Skinner.
We've just got some information that EJ Silva's in fact sick. That's why she's not playing tonight. What are your thoughts on that, John? Is that a huge miss for the Cobras? Of course, we've already spoken about.
Massive out for the Cobras, but the players on the court seem to be holding up pretty well. And that will see us out for the first half. The West Coast Cobras 2, South Perth Alliance 1. And a big second half ahead The Cobras, the underdogs, lead the heavyweight South Perth Alliance 2-1. B1's opener was cancelled out by goals from Murray and Brady. As South Perth Alliance will line up with Juan, Betty, Haru and DeMargo. It's Cochrane, Kontinabali, Brady, Rennie for the Cobras. As we get underway, Silas's whistle's blown in the centre to Cochrane. Now Brady switches play to Kontinabali, who looks over the top. That one's comfortable for Del Busco.
To me, the Cobras have a very obvious strategy here. You saw their two youth players on the flank trying to steal the ball like Sophie Rennie just did then. And then they've got the two experienced players, one at pivot and one at fixo. And seems like it doesn't pay off because they concede an early goal from South Perth Alliance. What are your thoughts on that goal, John?
Brilliant finish from DeMargo. Lovely turn onto the right and put it in the corner, far beyond Skinner's reach. You have to say, toward the back end of that second half, or that first half rather, it looked like it was coming. And they might have another one here. Betty to make it 3-2. And it's 2 goals in 20 seconds for South Perth Alliance. And a disappointing passage of play for the Cobras, who have really let it go in the opening stages of this second half. Roberto Boy's halftime team talk seems to be working thus far.
And we've got to say, very unfortunate for Rennie. She made 2 mistakes that led to both goals. It's just unfortunate it happened so quickly. Unable to get her confidence back, which is a shame because she's a youngster. And we want to see the youngsters succeed in this sport, so we hope that she keeps her head up. Definitely got pools and pools of talent. She just got to recover from these moments where the inexperience sometimes lets us down.
The ball in the centre, won again by Betty. South Perth Alliance looking good now, but that one given away. Cochrane. Overlapping run finds Brooke. And the ball looking through for Kontinabali has been retrieved by Brooke. And Brooke's final ball let her down. Kontinabali was waiting but couldn't reach it.
And of course, we've got to talk about a massive miss for South Perth as well. Ishka Brookings, who just got a professional contract in a A-League squad, from my understanding, over East. What are your thoughts on that, John?
Yeah, really good. I didn't see too much of her, but I've heard only great things about her. However, it doesn't look like she'll be playing futsal anytime soon. I don't think you're allowed to once you get a contract in the A-League, but we wish her all the best of successes. And the second professional player to come through South Perth, Zoe Spadano in the futsal game, and now Ishia Brooking in the outdoor game.
Yes, and only 14 years of old, I'm told. And you know, you've got to talk. Young Matilda has played on the international scene for Australia. Only the second person in this current generation to do that. Of course, Tyler Garner doing that for futsal.
Yeah, monumental.
Who we'll see later tonight with a start of a derby with Cumbre versus Sterling Brazajinga at 7:35. Make sure to tune into that game.
Looking forward to commentating that one. It's going to be big. Cochrane's ball forward. One wins it. Betty, Haru. One's free at the back post, and Haru finds her.
Ball, but
missed
touch
kick
lets
from
it
one.
down.
Back to Ranieri. High press. And it's
And
a
another
goal. B1 puts it in the roof of the net.
I think the intensity that South Perth have come out with from this half have just completely taken the Cobras by surprise.
Yeah, well, it's what you'd expect from a side of South Perth's quality. This is, why they were so good in the SFL for so many seasons. That first half, they seem to just be getting warmed up, and now you can see they're full of confidence.
And
that ball over the top might have slipped through. Harrow with the recovery.
And you just got to ask the question, what are they going to look like with Tiana Botha? Are they just going to, walk teams over? Not sure. We'll see if Cobras can recover this.
Well, I think they'll be one of the favourites to win the competition, along with probably the Devils. I think that'll be a really good matchup. And
an outside shout for the, I think any women's team in the top 6 can win it. Northern Hawks looked really good last night. You have, of course, Wolves playing later tonight. You got a lot of strong squads here.
Yeah, the women's competition has gone leaps and bounds this season. The Andinos, who came last time around, put on a very strong display against the Northern Hawks last night, and they've got some brilliant new signings.
Yes, Noi, massive signing for Andinos, definitely kept them in that game.
really good to see. And then obviously the Coburn Wolves coming into the league as well, who I believe are up next.
Yes, versus Perth AFC.
Be interesting to see what they bring. They'll be another contender.
Another side which have strengthened in the off-season. It seems like the women's game's just going through the roof, John.
Absolutely. Maybe even more so than the men's division this season. The men's division has always, been pretty good for a couple of seasons now. The women's comp was at 4 teams last season, and now it's at 8. So
I would almost argue that the women's competition, with another goal, as I was speaking, is more close than the men's division. You got the top 6 can conceivably win. I don't think you can say that about the men's division.
Yeah, I think definitely when you've got 16 teams, there's a bigger gap. But the top 6 are very closely contested, and there's probably really a bottom 2. If I had to make an early prediction, it looks like Cumbria and AFC will struggle, but hopefully for their sake they can cause a few surprises. But with some of the clubs being so established and already so strong, it's not going to be easy to compete. I think even the Cobras will probably, if I had to make an early prediction, finish in that 6th spot. I was pleasantly surprised at the start of this game, but you can see they've let it go and conceded 4 goals in 5 minutes, and it could go from bad to worse if Gus Fontana can't turn it around in this timeout.
Are we potentially going to see fly keeper here?
Yeah, I think we will see fly keeper. So it usually goes one of 2 ways. For the West Coast Cobras' sake, it tends to go the wrong way for them. They try it, but I haven't seen it work too many times for them. Usually results in them conceding more, so we'll have to see if some of these players can stand tall and prevail against the odds.
I've just seen behind us, because of course we are able to see the teams lining up for training. I'm seeing a youngster for the next game, the goalkeeper. I'm not sure of her name, but she was absolutely brilliant in the winter season for the Wolves when she did get chances over Noy. So it's going to be very exciting to see how she adjusts to this new competition.
Haru to Thu.
That's the experience of South Perth, just sitting there with an underlapping run with a ball behind.
And that one rolling onto Haru's foot. Murray to bring it in. Down the line. And Rennie, another side ball.
I think we were just having a warning about the grip socks. Of course, last night we had referees or officials pick up that the grip socks, actually with the stripe on the bottom there, isn't actually part of the uniform for all the clubs. So you've got to, in fact, hide it or tape it over, apparently. So it's a new rule that's come out. I know last season it definitely wasn't enforced as much. What are your thoughts on that, John? Do you think the league's just getting more and more professional?
Look, I don't really see it as a big deal, but I guess it would indicate that way, wouldn't it? It's pretty hard to play in some of these team socks. Grip socks do help out the players a lot, and as long as they're not showing too obviously, I think it should be allowed, but we'll have to see how the rule pans out.
Yes, I mean, the worst case scenario, you just pull your footless socks down a little bit more. What's the difference?
Exactly. As DeMarco, ball in the centre to Thu, flicks it on, Johnson, Rennie defends gallantly, but it's gone the way of South Perth. In fact, Jonathan Silas changes his mind. It's gone the way of the Cobras.
And that's the exact tenacity that we want to see from Rennie as she recovers from her mistake she made earlier, which obviously, now we've seen the 5th goal through, shows that she wasn't the issue, it was the systems issue, something like that. So we need to see...
A big bump by Sam Brady. Don't mind to see it, but it's the foul for South Perth on the edge of the box. And Baxter Thu, looks like she's lining up this one. It's 5 fouls for the West Coast Cobras. And a timeout called by Roberto Boy, who's going to look to muster something up from the set play. A 5-2 lead they hold now, really in the driving seat. At halftime, it didn't look all that likely, but a brilliant opening few minutes of the second half has seen the South Perth Alliance really cruise through the gears. And we'll see if they can
I think that was a bit quick by our official Silas.
Yeah, very quick, but I think because we're running a bit behind on time, they've got to make up for it wherever they can. It's Baxter Thu, who's standing over the ball. Johnson on her left. DeMarco at the back post. We're going to see a rotation between the two players. I think we might. It's come out to DeMarco. Ball a bit behind her. Forced back to Thu. With the 1-2. Matsushika. DeMarco. Still going DeMarco. And that's a brilliant finish by Jess DeMarco. Lasers it into the top corner. And it's 6-2 now for South Perth, the Lions, who are running away with this one.
Yeah, it seems like South Perth have really put this game to bed, John. Do you think Cobras could conceivably come back in fifth man?
No, I don't think so. I think that's game, set, match now. The Cobras have lost that string that they had in the step earlier in the first half, and South Perth's defensive lapses are all but been dealt with in the halftime team talk. You don't see any balls going over the top this second half. Ranieri.
I'm almost seeing maybe a system issue with the target playing very short, I've got to say. You're talking, they're only utilising maximum 20 metres of the 40-metre court here, John. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's part system, it's also part personnel. It's hard to compete with the quality that South Perth have on the court, and a lot of tired legs
and
out there for the
goal.
Cobras. It's gone from bad to worse for them as Jess Johnson puts it in the bottom corner. And this could get really ugly.
It's a real shame, actually, because the game was very, very close and Cobras were in the driving seat. So we're really hoping from the commentary box that they recover, make this a little bit more respectable scoreline.
Ball down the line from Ranieri. Johnson to bring it in for South Perth. Here's Betty. Matsushita, lovely ball through. But
Wow.
Cochrane clears.
That ball was impressive. The spin on the outside of that pass.
Through to Matsushita. Murray plays it through to Brady. Cochrane on the left. Brady looking for Cochrane, but Johnson got back early. And the ball going the way of South Perth Alliance. Johnston. Betty. And put out by Cochrane. Betty to Johnston. Back to Betty. Ball inside. Through in a battle with Ranieri.
Got to say, this is a very exciting battle between Ranieri and Baxter. What are your thoughts? Who's winning it so far?
No, I think Baxter, and I think the scoreline reflects it also. Ranieri hasn't done badly, had a pretty decent first half, but for a team to be playing so good, the individuals have to be winning their battles, don't they? It's Kontinabali to Brady. Back now to Cochrane. Giving away to Thu. She might get a chance here. Baxter Thu cuts inside. Back rolls it to Betty. Blocked by Ranieri. And behind for a corner. Betty. Johnston, top of the D. Thu over the bar.
Do we have anyone on for a hat-trick today, John?
Yeah, DeMarco's already got 3.
Oh,
she'll
already
be
on a hat-trick.
looking to keep going. Kontinabali. But a good save by Del Blisco is the best chance the Cobras have had this second half. Great save from Del Blisco. Now up the other end.
And
And
what
that
an
one
opportunity.
hits Cochrane in the face. A brave block to keep the scoreline getting any larger. And the referee's whistle goes, making sure Gemma Skinner straightens her posts up. Johnston to Betty. Pressure coming in from Brady. Brady wins it. Lovely turn.
Center player.
Cochrane needed a slide to try and get a toe on it.
I think Cochrane almost had a little bit of hesitation there. Very uncharacteristic of her. She could have borrowed the keeper very easily there, but slowed down her run. Maybe this is a reflection of the scoreline so far, John.
Ranieri. Brady, lovely turn. Kontinabali needed to keep it on the ground. And 9 minutes left, 7-2 to South Perth Alliance. The floodgates look to have been shut a little bit now. They've gone a couple minutes without conceding. But between the 19th minute and the 12th minute, they conceded 6 goals of the West Coast Cobras. A real brown trousers period for them. As B1 looks in the centre, ball out wide by Brady, and couldn't find the feeder of Neri. Betty to Johnston. Still going Johnston. Back to Betty. Inside to 1. Toe in to win it from Ranieri. And off Cochrane for a sideline ball. Betty to Matsushita. Back rolls it to Betty nicely. Johnston tries to get around Brady. Brady dives in. Johnston off the crossbar. Cochrane to Brooke. Back to Cochrane. Ball was out. Betty in space. Brooke does well. And tries to play it down the line, but only as far as 1. Who uses Johnston in the centre. Tries to skip around Kontinabali. Betty stumbles over the ball. Flicked over the top for Kontinabali. She'll have the pace to keep going.
Oh.
But it's dragged the effort wide. A couple of good chances coming in for Lauren Kontinabali. But unfortunately for the Cobras, she's failed to convert. Johnston to Haru. Back to Johnston. Breaks through the Cobras defense easily, and now a chance. Works it to the back post. DeMarco. In fact, it was 1 who was making the run in. Skinner. Long ball over. I'm not going to trouble the 6'2" Frey McCam. Haru with the header. 1. Back to Haru. Gets around Murray. Kontinabali trying to find an avenue to goal, but Haru does well. Rennie. Murray. Ball through looking for Kontinabali. 1. Murray. Kontinabali. Scooped over. And that one's gone out of bounds.
Got to say, these balls over the top so far for the Cobras haven't been working that much. What are your thoughts on that, John? Do you think they should keep the ball on the floor?
Yeah, they probably should. South Perth have become aware of what their game plan was in the first half. Is another chance for Kontinabali going begging. This time she's got a corner. So Cobras have picked up the intensity and gained a little bit of momentum these last couple of minutes. Kontinabali on another day maybe could have had a hat-trick. Haru
really showing experience there, taking the ball across the goal, although now showing maybe too much confidence, dribbling a bit too much there. Should have given the ball earlier.
Dalbusco to Haru. Ball in the middle. Rennie, heavy touch. 1 won't be able to keep it in. Kontinabali. No real options for her. Rennie, got to be careful. 2 players to beat. 1 in the centre. DeMarco. And looking for her 4th goal of the match, Jess DeMarco. But just trickling past the post. Skinner. Long run from Kontinabali. Haru. And it's fallen to the grateful arms of Dalbusco. Matsushita. Ball inside to Haru. And last touch off Rennie. Matsushita it's DeMarco that brings it in rather. Now Matsushita tries to lay it off to DeMarco. Rennie puts it behind. Haru. Kontinabali comes in well. Another player that's absent from South Perth's lineup that we haven't touched on is Abby Meekins.
Yes, a massive player.
Probably their 2nd best player to Tiana Botha.
Although I believe the write-up from the Supa-Liga official page was, in fact, that Abby Meekins is a star player. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, they're pretty close. I'm not sure. I'll have to watch them play a bit more this season. I didn't watch too much of the WSL last season, but I know they're both good. That's the thing. I watched Meekins play a lot in the Supa-Liga, and she was superb. In the grand final of the 2022-23 winter season.
Which team was she with during that? Was it Perth Pumas?
Perth Pumas won that, and Meekins got a hat-trick, so judging by that, she'll definitely be a force to be reckoned with. Botha as well played in the NSDF tournament for South Perth last season. They were the best club in Australia. Harrell fires over the bar. Baxter Thu on now. Skinner over the top. Lovely touch by Brady. Loses out to Thu. The Cobras will get that one back. Murray. And a shot coming in from Brooke. Too tall of the goal.
What are your thoughts on the later games tonight, John? What are your predictions for the later games, and what games are happening?
So we've got Coburn Wolves against Perth AFC coming up next. I see Coburn Wolves getting the goods with that one if I had to make an early prediction. Cumbria against the Western Devils. I'll tip the Devils. Then in the MSL, Perth AFC versus South Perth Alliance. I'll probably tip South Perth Alliance. Cumbria versus Sterling Browser-Jinga. I'll tip Cumbria. Cobras versus Sharks, which I'll be coaching in, so I won't say too much there. And then the Hawks versus Spearwood. I'd probably go with the Northern Hawks, but plenty of exciting
good fight here by the Cobras players.
Pardon?
Good fight happening here right now by the Cobras players, pressing early. But, of course, with the press, which they are behind, so maybe you'd argue they have to press. With that press comes the vulnerability at the back. Do you think this is the chance to press for Cobras, or do you think they should stick to their game plan of sitting half court?
Look, I think whatever they do, 2 minutes to go, 5 goals down, it's not really going to matter. If they press, they might get a couple goals, they might concede a few. If they stick half court, then I'll probably be able to see the game out with a 7-2 result, but that's not really good either, is it? I think they've just got to go back to the drawing board, get the training amped up, and hopefully get a better result next week, because they've been taught a lesson by South Perth Alliance, especially this second half today. Is Brady. Ball to the back post.
I've got to say one thing I'm really excited about is I just saw Roberto Boy, the South Perth coach, maybe channeling his inner Bielsa there with his stance. What are your thoughts on that?
Got to love Roberto Boy, a brilliant coach, gives a lot back to the game, both women and men's, and he'll be the head coach of South Perth Alliance in both of the top flight divisions this season.
And his retention of players just shows that. The players really respect him, and he challenges them enough to keep him there. Sideline
ball. Harrell to Betty, and now to Thu. Inside to DeMarco. Harrell, back post, and Thu has the finishing touch. 8-2 with just over a minute to play. And the Cobras, who kept South Perth goalless for around 10 minutes, finally allow those floodgates to open once again. Cochrane, Brady, Rennie. Can they get something? It would only be consolation. Rennie's shot.
Beautiful shot by the youngster.
Tipped away by Del Busco. That wingspan coming into show, and another good save, but she's not going to be able to keep the second attempt out from Brady.
That was a beautiful set play by the Cobras, leaving that little dummy. Really convincing by Rennie. It sold the player, so that's the back post tap, and all from those two players, Sarah Rennie and Sarah Ranieri and Sophie Rennie.
They've deserved a goal the second half, the Cobras, so for their sake, it's good to see them get it. But they have been outplayed, they've been outclassed, and they've been outworked in every asset today. 8-3 the result, under a minute to play now. Ball in the centre to Cochrane. Thu Anything more for the Pumas would be, for the Alliance girls, would be rubbing salt into the wound. Through Matsushita. Still going Matsushita. Looks for the reverse ball. And cleared away by Rennie. A bit frantically. As a sideline ball for South Perth Alliance. Johnston. Betty. Ball inside. Cochrane clears their lines. Del Busco. One last chance for Alliance maybe. Matsushita. And just about done.
4 seconds.
5 seconds left on the clock. Cobras will just have to bring it in to end their misery. As Rennie tries to scoop it high, but that's gone straight out of play. Rennie, Brady. They're not going to have enough time to get one final chance. The referee's whistle goes. South Perth Alliance 8, West Coast Cobras 3. A hat-trick to Jess DeMargo, a brace to B1, and a goal each to Baxter Thu, Grace Betty, and Jess Johnson. For the Cobras, Sam Brady, Frankie Murray, and Sophie Reddy all scoring a goal each. And we'll just have a look through the full-time statistics before we will bring you the next match.